Okay, let's get into this. We're doing a deep dive today on something, well, pretty much everyone who travels has felt frustrated by, handling luggage at the airport.
Yeah, that feeling, right. You arrive and suddenly it's like, okay, heavy bags, gotta lug these things. Then there's the worry about baggage fees. Will they charge extra?
Totally. And the risk, too. Is my stuff going to make it? Is it going to get damaged?
Exactly. And just the time. Waiting in line to check it, then waiting again on the other side at baggage claim. It feels like it eats up so much travel time.
Oh, absolutely. And it gets like 10 times worse if you're dealing with bulky things. Skis, golf clubs. Try getting those through a busy terminal.
It's a whole different level of hassle. And usually, extra costs too. Significant extra costs sometimes.
Right. So the material we're looking at today is from Neighborhood Parcel. They basically outline these exact frustrations.
They do. And they present their service, this luggage, and specifically Gold Club shipping service, as a potential way around all that airport baggage stuff.
So our mission here is really to dig into those specific challenges the source mentions, the effort, the cost, the risk, the time, and then see how this Neighborhood Parcel service, based on their description, actually tackles those. Is it, a viable alternative?
Okay, so let's look at what they present. Right off the bat, they frame it as bypassing the whole airport struggle. The core idea is pretty straightforward. You don't have to physically handle your bags at the airport.
No wrestling suitcases off the carousel.
Exactly. No pushing carts, none of that. You hand it over beforehand, and, well, that's it for you until you reach your destination.
And they do mention the risks, right? They cite some data, I think.
Yeah, they point to Department of Transportation figures. Something like over 400,000 bags reported mishandled every year.
Wow, 400,000.
Yeah. And mishandled can mean delayed, lost, damaged, even stolen. So it's not insignificant.
That's a pretty stark number. Really puts the vulnerability of the standard system in perspective.
It does. And Neighborhood Parcel, in their material, claims their service directly counters this hassle and worry, specifically the risk of bags getting lost.
How do they back that up?
Well, they mention a guarantee. They say your bag arrives on time or you don't pay. Plus, they'll provide up to, I think it was $200 per bag if something goes wrong.
Okay, so that's their answer to the risk part, a financial guarantee.
Seems like it. It's a clear attempt to address that worry people have.
And what about the time aspect, that waiting around we mentioned?
Right. They talk about that too. They estimate, and this sounds high, but maybe it's right for some places, they estimate the average time spent checking a bag is about 2 hours.
2 hours. From curb to gate, just for the bag check.
That's the figure they use. If that's anywhere near accurate for some travelers, then yeah, avoiding check-in lines and skipping baggage claim entirely would be a massive time saver.
You could just, walk straight through security to your gate?
That's the implication. Think about short trips or tight connections. Saving that kind of time could really change the whole airport experience.
Yeah, no kidding. And who enjoys standing at the baggage carousel, just watching it go round and round?
Nobody. It's that low-level anxiety, isn't it? Did it make it? Is that mine?
Exactly. Then there's the cost. This is often a big one, especially, like we said, with those bigger items.
Definitely. And the source uses golf clubs as a prime example. They point out that flying with clubs on U.S. airlines can cost, $100 or even more.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they contrast that by saying shipping those same clubs via their ground service could be under $50, depending on the zone.
So potentially half the cost or even less for golfers. That's a specific, tangible saving they're claiming.
It's a pretty strong comparison they make. If you travel with clubs often, that could really add up. They also hint at savings for international travel, where those airline fees for overweight or oversized bags can get really steep.
Saying you can ship it for a fraction of the cost.
Right. Without the airport effort or those, as they put it, excessive fees.
Okay, so boiling it down, the pitch seems to be convenience first, save time, reduce worry because of the guarantee, and potentially save money, particularly if you have sports gear or bulky items.
That sums up the value proposition they're presenting, yeah. What's also interesting is the logistics they describe. It's framed as door-to-door.
Meaning they pick it up from your house.
Or office, presumably.
Yes.
And ship it directly to your final spot. Your hotel, a cruise ship terminal, a specific golf course, maybe a ski resort. Anywhere globally, they say.
So you completely sidestep the airline baggage system.
That's the idea. They even mention offering professional packing services and using industrial-grade supplies, which adds another layer of convenience and maybe perceived security for your stuff.
Okay, so the process sounds like call them or go online, arrange a pickup, they pack it if needed, ship it, and it's waiting for you.
Pretty much. They give typical delivery times, like 3 to 6 business days for standard domestic shipping. But they also mention faster options, 1, 2, or 3 day service if you need it quicker and your budget allows.
And international takes longer.
Up to 10 business days, according to the source. So yeah, it definitely requires planning ahead compared to just showing up at the airport with your bags.
That's the trade-off, isn't it? Plan ahead, but potentially skip a lot of the airport day of stress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they seem to think this appeals to a lot of different people. The source lists quite a range of users.
Oh, yeah? Like who?
Let's see, they mentioned travel agents, athletes, obviously, cruise passengers, people staying at resorts, senior citizens, kids heading off to camp, college students moving.
Wow.
Dual residence owners, even local golfers, just sending clubs ahead to the course. It's a broad spectrum.
So they're suggesting these luggage problems aren't niche. They affect all sorts of travelers.
Seems to be the message. They even include a little mention of a testimonial, someone who ships golf clubs every year and finds it convenient and reasonably priced.
Reinforces that idea of not traveling with your luggage in the traditional sense. You travel and your luggage meets you there.
Right. And they do mention how to engage with them. You can call them at 978-851-0199 or request a quote online to see the actual cost for your specific trip.
Okay, good to know that's in there. It really makes you think about your own trips, doesn't it? Those moments you're dragging a heavy bag or waiting or paying an unexpected fee.
It does. We've all been there. The lifting, the lines, the slight panic when your bag isn't the first one off the belt.
Right. And the service, as the source presents it, is basically positioned as removing that entire layer of the travel experience.
So just to kind of recap from the source material, the big pain points are clear. The physical effort, the unpredictable airline fees, the real risk of lost or damaged bags, that 400,000 number, and the sheer amount of time wasted, especially with awkward stuff like skis or golf clubs.
And the Neighborhood Parcel service described in the source aims to solve these by shipping your bags door to door ahead of you, straight to the hotel, the resort, the cruise port, wherever.
Claiming benefits like saving time, saving effort, reducing worry with that guarantee, and potential cost savings, especially with that golf club example. And doing it, they say, for a fraction of airline costs without the airport hassle.
And pointing out that this isn't just for one type of traveler, but potentially useful for athletes, seniors, families, students, a really wide range.
Yeah, the source definitely suggests these luggage frustrations are pretty universal and that shipping ahead offers a broadly appealing convenience.
It really does make you consider a different way to manage the logistics of travel.
Which leads to, I think, an interesting final thought for you, the listener, to mull over based on what the source suggests.
Okay.
If you could genuinely step off the plane, bypass baggage claim entirely, and just head straight to your destination, knowing your bags were already there waiting for you, how might that fundamentally change the way you think about and maybe even plan your travel?